Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for hopping in. It's another day. If you don't know me or you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming in. But if it's the first time seeing my face, my name is Ransom Yema. I'm based in Nigeria. Um, third year radiography student, medical radiography student, studying at Further University of Technology, School of Basic Medicine. And apart from my medical studies, I'm also a proficient freelance medical content writer. I do a whole lot of writings on medical articles, medical blog content, medical social media content, etc. I work with pharmaceutical companies and healthcare companies out there. I also work with personal clients out there. So today I have an amazing guest speaker. Hey, Ali, could you introduce yourself to the audience?
Of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Mariam Ali. I'm a second year PA student or physician assistant student in New York. I am currently, yes, I'm in my second year, and outside of medicine, I enjoy spending time with my family and friends, reading books, spending any time outdoors. I'm also a pre PA student mentor, and um, I'm part of a community called PA Spire that we mentor pre-PA students and provide services, affordable services to increase access to help for getting into PA school and um, yeah, and just to increase connections and network with other PA students and pre-PA students.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Marian. So you ready for the questions I have for you for the audience?
Yes.
All right. So the first question goes this way. So for the record, if I'm looking downwards, I'm reading the questions to her, so that she can give us her own narratives on those questions. So I see. So before I ask that question, what does it mean to be a first generational medical student or a first generational PA medical student? What does that mean?
Um, to be first generation means that um, you don't have family members that have a higher level education in the United States, like with meaning college education. Um, so yeah, my parents didn't go to college, so that makes me a first generation student.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for that. So the first question goes this way. So as a first generational PA medical student like you, what challenges did you face in navigating the application processes and early years of your medical education, and how did you overcome them? So tell us how you do that.
Um, it's a big question. Some challenges. So one to start, I am the oldest of four sisters, and coming from I'm Pakistani, so coming from a Pakistani family, I am the oldest of four sisters, and my dad, growing up, my father was working all the whole day, and my mom was home with us. But being the oldest of four, I had a lot of family responsibilities and family commitments, so that made navigating the application process and undergraduate studies hard for me to manage my time, how to effectively study. Also, being a first generation, there's not much guidance in the application process. So it's hard to figure out a lot of, like, applying to PA school is a lot of nitty gritty things that it can be so hard to navigate sometimes. It's sending transcripts, writing essays, meeting all different requirements. So it's very detailed and it's very meticulous. So it can be very hard to navigate that. And another big one was financial constraints. I wasn't able to go. to schools or go away to college and have a big, regular college experience that most people have. So I started off going to community college, and then I transferred to a public school close to home, public state university. And neither of those schools had a lot to offer to pre PA students. So that again made it harder to understand how to apply to people. And um, so yeah, that was those are some of the challenges I faced. So overcoming them, honestly, with in terms of navigating the application process, I used Instagram a lot. I reached out to a lot of other PA students in on Instagram that were sharing their journeys, and I found resources through them that offered personal statement editing, things like that. And in terms of like with school, I did a lot of my own research for learning about what a PA is, what a PA does, and what the application process is like. So yeah, so I think that's yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So I'm kind of like very curious about your journey. You stated that you're from Pakistan, right?
Yeah, my family is from Pakistan, but I was born in the United States.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I was like thinking why you transitioned from your home country to
Oh no, no, not
America.
parents.
Okay, your parents.
Yeah.
Okay. So could you throw more insight about how you came about overcoming the funding aspect in your PA medical school you're doing right now?
Um. So as of right now, I am paying for PA school through government loans, but throughout undergrad, I went to community college, so it was affordable to pay out of pocket. But I also t- um, saved. I also worked part time jobs. I worked retail jobs. I worked in a sandwich shop. I worked at a pharmacy throughout college to save money, and I would pay for a lot of things for myself other than school, personal, financial stuff, school related
So
expenses.
amazing. So all those kind of works you did, while you're studying, didn't you affect your medical studies then?
Um, kind of. It was hard to figure out the time management at first. It was overwhelming for sure. I struggled in some classes. But I guess as time went on, I kind of got used to it. And through as I if I struggled in school, I would reach out to my professors and go to that my school offered like tutoring centers. So I would try to maximize my resources at school that I can to overcome the barrier that I had with time management.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Ali. It's a pleasure for you to share those narratives and those questions for the audience. So the second question goes to say, you ready?
Yeah, my name is Mariam. You're calling me
Mary.
yes.
Okay.
You're calling
Oh,
me by my
so
last name.
that is that an A? I thought it's a Y something. Oh, really?
It's Mariam.
Miriam. Miriam. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for that correction, Miriam. Mm, mm, mm. So, can you share some insights into the unique opportunities? And wait, before I ask that question, you're based in New York, right?
Correct.
So I want you to share some insights, into the unique opportunities and experiences available for PA students in New York, especially that may differ from other regions. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Um, well, in New York, we have, especially in New York City, there are some of the world class health institutions like NYU Langone, New York Presbyterian, Mount Sinai, some of these really big world renowned healthcare institutions that offer a lot of training programs, not only to PA students, but medical students. And they also do a lot of research. There's a lot of opportunity available to in New York in terms of research, fellowships, trainings. Um, we also have a very diverse, especially in New York City, again, a very diverse population that we work with. So that I think that's another unique feature of being in New York.
So how does it differ from other regions? Do you have any idea about that?
Um, I think in other regions, the population may not be as diverse, so you don't get exposure to a lot of other diseases. And again, these healthcare institutions that are in New York City, they might not other places like other regions might not have access to care that is that of that such quality. Um, yeah, I think that's another thing. And other regions can be more rural, so access to healthcare in general can be more limited.
So apart from, you know, you being born in the United States of America, have you traveled to other countries before?
I have.
So what were your narratives? What was your initiatives on the healthcare system on the countries you traveled to your own country, like America, especially
Um,
New York? So what are your own narratives? What were your differences on those countries you traveled and their healthcare system like?
I haven't seen much of the healthcare system in the different countries that I've been to. However, I do know in a lot of these other countries there are um, a lack of resources, a lack of technology, or a more advanced um, tools in healthcare and access to primary care and screenings and preventative health things that is a lot more available. And I think another part is insurance. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure how insurance works uh, in a lot of the countries that I've been to, but I think in general there's a lot more access to healthcare in the United States through government funded insurances and things like that compared to the countries I've been to.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Mariam. So we have four more questions to go. You ready
Okay.
for the
Yeah.
third question? Wait,
Yes.
I see you're also a mentor for PA medical students, right?
Pre-PA students, yes.
So as a mentor for pre-PA students, what advice do you typically offer regarding preparing for the application processes and succeeding in PA school? So what are your thoughts on that?
Um, so I'm gonna kind of separate it by application process and PA school. So in terms of navigating the application process, one thing I always say is it's a very, very meticulous process. There's a lot of steps. You have to write a personal statement. You have to enter every course you've ever taken into a portal. You have to um, do supplemental applications through schools. You have to fill out financial information. There's a lot of um, it's a really long process. So I always tell people to kind of map out how they're going to take the application process and take it step by step, complete one section of the application at a time, and um, prepare ahead of time to like when you're before applying like the cycle. So you apply to PA school the year before you start. So to prepare for the application cycle, I always tell people to have your personal statement basically not complete, but have a draft started. Keep in mind who you're going to have your letters of recommendations from and um, to research the schools that you're applying to thoroughly. So yeah, those are some of the big tips that I give to pre-PA students. And when it comes to navigating PA school and how to be successful, it's PA school is very different from undergrad, not in terms of what you're learning, but it's how much information you're being given at a time. So it's really hard to manage all the classes you're taking with all the exams that you have. So I think time management is very, very important. So I would have a real like a set schedule for and fit in time for studying and um, prioritize tasks based on deadlines or um, yeah, based on deadlines, I guess, and to set realistic goals for yourself, not to expect yourself to get a million things done. You want to tackle um, little things every day, not do that's what leads to success in PA school. I think doing little things every day, studying a little bit every day, or well, not every single day, but um, yeah, it's the small things that you do that kind of compound into being successful in PA school. And then another thing is to prioritize your health. Your It's very easy to get stressed out and let PA school affect your eating habits, your how much you're exercising and how well you take care of yourself. But if you prioritize your health in the beginning, I think it's a lot more manageable. Um, and I also always say to take breaks every week, take a night off or um, do something small for yourself every day to take care of yourself. And be open to new study techniques. Yeah, I think those are the big ones for being successful in PA
Yeah,
school.
that was an amazing nuggets, Mariam. Thank you so much for sharing that for the audience.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is your work. You mentor, so these tips are really
Yeah,
helpful
I
for the
really
people and who watch this video.
yeah, I completely enjoy like I really enjoy being a mentor. I didn't have one, so it's really fulfilling to help a pre-PA student in any little way that I can.
Mm, amazing, amazing. So, do you currently have a mentorship class for people to join?
It's not a class, it's on Discord. We're a server and we host um, frequent like check-ins and we help pre-PA students navigate the application process and we provide services like personal statement review, supplemental application reviews, mock interviews. Um, and we have a lot of resources within our community as well that we share with our mentees to kind of help with the different steps of becoming or applying to PA school. There's a lot of um, standardized tests, and there's like how to write a good personal statement. So we have a lot of things to offer in that sense too.
So, because what I'm saying, we're gonna share the Discord meeting link on the YouTube description below for people that are interested to join, and have more insights about PA school, the application, navigating the application, and everything. Yeah,
I can
I think
share. So we take applications. So every year we only have a certain number of people join us. So,
okay,
but I can share our Instagram, which you can get a sense of what our community is like, and you can apply whenever you're planning to apply to PA school.
amazing, amazing. You know, if you're applying for PA school, it might only lead to knowledge. The major problem is the statement or your personal statement later,
Yeah,
right? I
personal
think
statement.
that's Yeah, I think that's a major problem people get overwhelmed about. So with this your mentorship program on Discord, having a lot of team members, collaborate. So we
Sorry, I
have three
lost.
more questions.
Yeah, I lost you there for a second.
Yeah, we're back right now.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think it's network.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, it's no problem. So the fourth question goes this way. You ready?
Yeah.
Could you discuss the importance of diversity and representation in the PA school or the PS field in general, particularly for first generational students like yourself?
Um, well, I think diversity is key in healthcare because again, we live in the United States, and well, I live in the United States, and um, we have a very diverse patient population, and people come from all over the world to live in America. People of all religions, cultures, beliefs, and values live in America. So I think it's very, very important to understand that and how to respect those values and how to provide appropriate medical care to those patients. And in terms of for first generation students, I think it's easy to not feel like we don't belong when we aren't surrounded by people of there is not much diversity, but when there is, we are more willing to share our ideas. We feel um, like we are included, and um, I also think first generation students being in healthcare or in medicine helps break stereotypes that only these certain types of people can be in medicine, or um, so seeing people who have similar cultural values or come from the same country as you, for example, uh, provides a sense of comfort and inspiration to pre-PA students, um, and as a first generation student overall.
Mm, mm. That was so deep. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So I want to ask a question before I move into the fifth question. I'm kind of like curious about your narratives on, you know, the diversities and representations in a peer field, for first generational medical students or students like yourself. So there are people that are gonna come across, maybe a medical student that are gonna come across this
Mhm.
video that's not a first generational students like yourself, but they are looking forward to applying for a PE school. So what are your tips and strategies for them?
My tips and strategies for
People that are looking forward to applying for PE school, but they're not first generational students like yourself.
oh, not first generation students. Do you mean people from like non-traditional students, or
Yeah, sure, definitely.
um I don't know if I have much to offer about that because I was not a non-traditional student, but meaning um I had a pretty typical path to becoming a PA. I went to undergraduate school, and then I transitioned straight into graduate school. There's some people who take multiple years off. Well, I took a couple years off, but there's people who take a longer gap, and um, or they switch from a career from a certain career to trying to become a PA. But so I guess this can apply to anyone, but I think medicine and the PA field is very, very competitive. Um, it's overwhelming. It's stressful applying. So like I think something to always remember is that everyone's journey is different, and um, healthcare people come from all different environments. So, and I think we all have something unique to offer. So it's it's a long journey, but it's worth it, and you should just if that's what you really want, just keep going. Keep taking little steps to get to where you want to be. Um, it's challenging and overwhelming, and sometimes it can feel impossible, but it is possible, and it's very worth it.
Thank you so much for that, Mariam. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course.
So before, can you just speak your home country's language till now?
Sure. um,
Are you sure?
यस, यस। मेरा नाम मरियम है। मेरी उम्मीद है कि आप सबको ये वीडियो पसंद आए।
You, you know, you know why I asked that question because the my past guest speaker was from Pakistan, but she was born in the UK, and
हाँ,
she had no clue about what Pakistan language was all about because she wasn't brought up or raised from
yeah,
from our home country. So
yeah,
that's what came into my mind. I was like, let me ask that question. But it's
yeah,
amazing that you could speak your language. It's amazing.
it's very I I love that I can. I can connect with, more patients, more people, so it's it's fun.
Amazing. So what is the name of Pakistan language?
Urdu, URDU. It's called
Okay,
Urdu, yeah.
okay. All right. Wow. I would love to learn Pakistan language one day.
You say something in Nigerian?
Hey, you want to hear my mother
Yeah,
tongue?
yes, please.
Okay, so um, so if I want to ask, what is your name, right? What is your name? And my mother tongue is Ahagi Ogini.
Okay, I don't know if I can do that.
Say, say Ahagi
Ahagi
Ogini.
or Guinea?
Ahagi Ogini. What's your name? Say it again.
Ahagi or Guinea?
Yes, that that's the meaning of what is the name in my mother tongue.
What's the name? Okay, I'll try to remember that.
Say it again. You forgot, right?
Ohigi Guinea?
Ahagi Ogini.
Okay, okay, yeah, I messed up already.
I'm gonna ask you that question later on. So just have it at the back of your mind.
Yes.
So we have two more questions to go. Mm. So in your experience, what are some effective strategies for balancing the demands of PA school with your personal and professional obligations? So, what are your strategy on that?
Personally, I really try to make time to exercise. Um, I always find that I study better after exercise. I feel more energized throughout the day. Um, I also I always try to make it not every if I don't get to every single day, at least once a week, I try to take a night off and do something that I enjoy, whether it's go out for dinner with a loved one or a friend, um, or if it's stay in and read a book or watch a show. I just recommend making time for yourself to so that you are able to work hard and you know appro- um, approach your day the best that you can and give your best every day. um, I think that's
Cool.
yeah.
That was a short, amazing nuggets right there.
Thank you.
Yeah, because of time, because we're just gonna wrap up the session. So we have the last question. So how do you feel about the last question?
um, I can answer it.
Okay, so already as someone involved in the PA community, right? Do you see any changes or developments in the profession? in the nearest future, or the new latest advancements in the nearest future, especially given new treatments and other advancements. So do you think you see any changes in the nearest future?
Um, for sure. Healthcare and medicine's like always changing. There's always new information, new research coming out. So something that I can see in the near future, which I actually have already kind of seen being utilized, is artificial intelligence or AI in healthcare. On my primary care rotation, there was an AI feature embedded into the electronic medical system that we use that analyzed EKGs and found um so that's something that can, like, artificial intelligence I think is a big thing that is going to be incorporated into healthcare. And I think another big thing in terms of how we approach treatment and um care for patients in general, I think we are I think the biggest thing is doing preventative care for patients. So um preventing progression of a disease or worsening of a disease, like with high blood pressure. So many people in this country and in the world have high blood pressure. I think getting it early is, treating it early is key to preventing complications later on. So there's screening for cancers. The age is becoming earlier. For example, colon cancer and breast cancer, the screening ages are getting younger and younger. So I think that's another big change that's coming to healthcare. And in terms of just the PA profession, I think our role is still kind of being defined because a lot of people don't understand our role, number one. And it's still a role that's developing. And I think there's going to be increasing autonomy and a lot more subspecializing for PAs with these new fellowships and training programs and residencies coming out.
Hmm. Hmm. Miriam, we've come to the end of the session. You've been an amazing, amazing, great speaker for
Thank
our
you.
podcast today. And I believe that the audience found great insights on your own narratives and those questions. And so, what are your last words before we wrap up the session?
Um, Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm very happy to be here and to share my journey throughout PA school and to be of any help to any pre PA students or anyone who is interested in medicine. They can reach me on Instagram, or on LinkedIn. You can connect with me. And yeah, I'm really happy to have been here. And it was wonderful to have this conversation with you.
All right, thank you so much. So, if you love this content, do well to subscribe, like, and comment, and share to your network as well. It will greatly, they will greatly, greatly appreciate you. Thank you.